What a fucking L.
Good job. 8.
Dude, that was a fucking...
Here, you want me to switch the roadcaster's position with the chessboard?
Nah, that's all good there.
Okay.
The bishop stand tall. Dude, so I told you I had to tell you... Oh, fuck, let me close the door. And I didn't even turn on the lights. I'm tripping. It would have been Pod After Dark. That one's just a switch in the back. What?
The pod in the dark.
So basically, I don't remember like the entire dream. Like it was me and you kind of like walking around with like some random bitches, and like some of them were ugly. There was like the ratio was good in our favor. And
okay, sounds unrealistic. That's when you should have known that it's a dream.
No, I know. And fucking, so we're walking around with them, and like there's some ugly ones, and then there's some hot ones, and like I wanted to fuck one specific hot one the entire time. And like, I remember we got to like some museum, and like for some reason we were gonna like stay there and like sleep there, and like that was just normal, and that was gonna happen.
At the museum.
So, not even, yeah, I guess so. But I was like, "Where's this chick? Where's that chick?" And they're like, I think I just saw her walk downstairs with Jake. And like,
oh, no.
Dude, there was like a fucking second place bitch where I was like...
Second place?
Where I was like, I want to fuck her too. Like, if I couldn't fuck this one, but like, I think
Nate's
that's the one...
plotting on these hoes even in the dreamscape.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, but that one's the one that Jake... I'm sure Jake is going to want to fuck, so I'm not going to sit here and be greedy and fucking... So you end up going downstairs with both of them, and I like...
Both?
Yes, with the first and the second. And I walked down there, and I was just like, damn, bro, you didn't even ask if I wanted to do duos. And both of them looked up and said, yeah, we don't. And I was like, and then I woke up, like, literally in a sweat panic, and I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And I was just like, dude, that shit was awful.
Nightmare.
Like, it turned into such a nightmare. It was such a good dream. Like, the entire day was fun, and like we were chilling, and then just fucking, we get to the end, and then you just fuck both of the chicks I wanted to, and the rest of them were all like, I'm not fucking any of you. So, dude, it was fucking, that was such an L.
I apologize for my behavior in the dream.
No, I'm not a woman. You don't have to apologize for actions you didn't actually do. I just need to fucking figure out why the fuck I have that in my mind. It's because you actually fuck bitches. And
No, I don't.
You get the real life bitches. You've been getting the real life bitches, at least of late.
Yeah, I try to only meet girls in real life so that everything doesn't feel like a complete simulation.
That's fair. Dude, because Tinder bitches are bots. It's so fucking annoying.
Hinge is pretty good, though.
Hinge is alright? Because that one's like the actual dating app, right?
Yeah.
Fucking...
Kinda, I guess.
The Tinder... like Bumble, I get no one on Bumble anymore. Like,
I used that for like 3 seconds freshman year, and I was like, this is hella retarded.
Yeah, the bitches sending... But the only reason I prefer that is because, like, then I don't have to sit there and be like, what the fuck? How am I going to start this conversation? Like, the bitch has to say something first, but then she could just say hi. And then, like, they'll do, like, one-word responses. And I got to, like...
Kiddos.
Of course, thank you. Are you thinking of that thing where, like, the little kid has the... and he slaps it?
Yeah.
Dude. But, God damn.
Sorry. I feel like Hinge just kind of has that Bumble mechanic, but it goes both ways. And I don't know what it is. Like, it has this algorithm that like tells you that you and this chick are compatible, and I feel like that's just like automatic brainwash for a girl. She's like, the app told me so. Like every single girl that I've seen on there that was like said that we're like most compatible and Hinge thinks we should meet, like they match 100% of the time. And that shit has like creepily figured out my type too. Like every single girl on there's like has
black hair, blue eyes.
Yeah.
Dude. Whenever I hear like certain characteristics like that about a girl, I always just think like, all right, who's the hottest one of that, like that type that I know? And like, I don't know, that's definitely messed up. But like, whenever you say that, black hair, blue eyes, the other day, even whenever you said that, I was like, Like, I literally brought up Lily. I was like, oh shit, that's just like Lily. And then I was like, that's fucking weird to say about a friend. But like, someone that I consider a friend, just be like, yeah, that's the type.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, I like the like 6'3" chicks, so.
The Amazons, you want to make D1 babies?
Yeah.
You know, I don't really care about height that much. Like, I would fuck a tall bitch. Like, Keelan Williams, I would have fucked her. And I wouldn't have had any second thoughts about it.
I mean, me too.
Yeah.
We did date.
Did you?
Yeah.
When?
You didn't know that?
Wait, when?
Dude, me and Keelan dated for like a year, probably.
In what grade?
Between like the end of freshman year and... No, it might have been like the summer of freshman year through like sophomore year.
Damn. Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that. But then, like, the thing is, though, is there's some, like, tall bitches that are obviously just ugly. And it's like, all right, well, I don't want to fuck you, but, like, the height isn't anything to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, I just... Definitely an insane person that's attracted to girls based on them having superior genetics.
Dude, you're like fucking... How Jaden makes his friends is how you fucking choose your bitches. You're like, which one's going to give me the best shot at the genetic lottery?
Pretty much. I don't know. Something fire about like a Giga Chad 6'2", like Eastern European chick.
You know, she's fucking sturdy. Not like in the term of like fucking dancing, but like fucking sturdy, and she's going to be able to last some cold winters and not complain.
Yeah, she's got a quality frame to her. Good foundation.
Bitch built like a stallion. Dude, did you see the, did you hear that? Did you listen to the new Drake album?
Fuck no.
Why not? God damn, why not?
Because I don't listen to fucking Drake.
You don't listen to Drizzy anymore?
No, I don't really listen to rap music in general anymore, but when I do, it's not Drake.
Yeah, I feel that. Fucking, I only did it because it's a Drake 21 Savage album. And so I was like, that sounds phenomenal, because I remember Without Warning was a 21 Savage collab album with Offset. And
that's like the greatest mixtape of all time.
Literally.
Like, wait.
But fucking, this one I really liked one song, Major Distribution, and then the rest I thought were all right.
That's not a bad ratio. I listen to, like, when I listen to rap music on occasion, for the one time, it's usually 21 Savage or like Gucci Mane.
Yeah, here with the Atlanta niggas. I fucking try and incorporate some of the music I like from these niggas just because, like, I don't want to go back to fucking the East Coast and still just have all
I've
East
definitely
Coast
listened to some DB About a Bag on my free time.
Dude, yeah, I have a couple songs from him. Fucking one dude has a song with Offset, Sleazy World Go, I think, or something. Lil Cito, gotta fuck with Lil Cito. But everyone knows about him. I mean, I don't actually fuck with him as an artist. I just like that little freestyle shit he did.
Slow B's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I have one of his songs. This ain't nothing new. I have two of his songs actually. One of them's like over like a white person song beat. I forgot what it was.
Easily like the hardest fucking album cover I've ever seen, low key, is that Slow B Bryant 3 album.
Dude, that shit is fucking fire, because that's what This Ain't Nothing New is on. And like, I saw that and I was like, that's fucking fire. Like, I wonder what his name actually is, if it's like Slow B or if he just made that up as like some rap shit.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like Slow B is inspired by Kobe or if it's completely coincidental.
Dude, that'd be funny if it was coincidental. And someone was just like, yo, you should do this. And he's like, who's Kobe Bryant? Yeah. Dude. I just found out that we don't have the biggest Navy anymore.
No chance.
China has more ships than us.
Yeah, and they're probably all dumb shit.
The thing is, though, is like there's two things that you base your naval power on, and like boats. The number of boats is actually the second most important thing. The first most important thing is like having missiles to launch out of your boats and shit. And we have like 10,000 to their like 2,000.
I guarantee you we have like so many more missiles than that. Like overall, like
that we're just like.
I mean, we have
under wraps. Yeah, we got 10,000.
I mean, you remember when you drove here, like you go past that one spot that's literally just like an entire area of the desert dedicated to just having like bombs, missiles, and ammunition just buried in the fucking ground.
Dude, and then whenever they need it, they're just like, all right, get the fucking construction crews out there. Dude, if we go to war, it's gonna be
they're like in these like massive bunkers. Oh, you came through at night, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you didn't see it. But
I've driven through like during the day as well, going to Vegas.
Oh yeah, when you went for
The Pac-12 championship, because Dalton got me a fucking ticket.
What a goat!
I know, that shit was fire. Dalton, if you're watching this, stop sending me jokes, nigga. Dude, everyone stops sending me jokes and stop telling me jokes. If you want to do a stand-up bit, you do it yourself. I'm not making your thing funny. Dude, Seabass is giving me like so many things.
I know, it's like, shut up.
It's like, dude, I get it. Like, I know it's coming from a good place where you're trying to help me.
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to do somebody else's thing. Like, I want my shit to be me. Cause like, I had to like find my own voice when I'm up there. And like, most of the time I'm just struggling to remember what I wrote cause it's so fucking long. But I'm like, I feel like if I like work on that skill and like get my actual like speech up to like 100, then like I can work on like finding out who I am as a comedian after that. Cause like if I know who I am as a comedian, but I can't say my jokes, it's going to be like, I feel like worse.
Yeah.
And like at open mics,
I agree. That's like a fundamental.
Yeah. Just got to work on them at the same time now.
Yeah.
And like whenever I like learn how to say a joke, I can actually do that. And like, I just kind of say shit deadpan. Like I'm not, and people, I don't know if they don't expect black people to do that. Like,
yeah,
there's a dude Mo.
They're expecting like the Kevin Hart shtick.
Yeah, there's a black guy that I fucked with super hard. I think his name was Braxton. Went to the Thursday night open mic at the Elbow Room, and like he went up and he was so black, dude. Like he was doing Def Jam comedy. Like he was like a light skinned dude, but like his bits were like, you ever know when you like go and see something and like this happened, like that sort of flow. Like that's not what he was saying, but like he's like, yeah, and you think dude, I don't even like know how to fucking give you an example because I don't remember his jokes, but it was just like Def Jam comedy is like very easy to digest. Like it's not,
just say it, Nate. You don't like black comedy.
No, that's not true because I laugh at it.
I know, I'm fucking with you.
But fucking
wasn't that on like Opie and Anthony when someone was saying that shit?
What? That someone was
they don't like black comedy and like, people, what the fuck?
Jay Moore is like black comedians suck. He's like other than like you, Patrice. Like he's like there are good black comedians, but most of them have. He's like every black comedian has a bit about like, oh, this is what a white guy sounds like, and then to me she's like, cause you do. And it's just like, okay, Patrice. Yeah. Sometimes that nigga would say some stupid ass shit.
Sometimes he was out of his skull.
Yeah. Dude, he coined that term when he was talking to fucking that bitch, Kareth Foster. Yeah, she was like, they were talking about the difference between a dude that could like convince two bitches to come and live with him as his living girlfriends versus a dude that paid two girls to do that. And like, Kareth is like, I would have more respect for the second one. And he was like, are you out of your skull? And it's just like, what are you talking about? That's just some dumb shit that she is fucking saying just to be right. But like, then Patrice, other times, she's sitting there talking to him about like an officer shooting like some black people. And like, it was like, the specific thing was like, this dude was in a car and like they started driving at the cops and they shot him. And then there was other people in the car that obviously weren't fucking driving and like trying to do that got killed. Clapped. And like Patrice was just like, oh well, they're black, so I'm gonna side with them. And like he was like, it's a car, it can go straight and forward. It's not a weapon. And it's like,
okay,
Patrice, I would fucking tag you if I had a car. Like I can fucking, dude. There's no way you could get away from that. And it's like, you can straight and forward, nigga, a steering wheel. Yeah. What are you talking about? He's like, you think it's a bull? It has a brain of its own. It's like, what, Patrice? You are just being real fucking woman-like right now.
Yeah, that's definitely an insane take.
Dude, and what I mean by woman-like is like just not having logic and saying something just to be right.
Yeah.
And like,
no matter how factually incorrect it is.
And you might know that it's factually incorrect, but you'll still sit there and say it.
Gotta ride with it.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I can respect that at least. If you're gonna be a dumbass across the board. And don't change ever.
Yeah. Never bend.
Exactly. Dude, I fucking played Hearts of Iron. I did a Japan run earlier. Fucking.
Was that the first time you've played in a while?
Yeah, I played it right after the last update came out. The By Blood Alone. And I played as Italy. Fucking hated it, dude. Because like usually you can just capitulate Ethiopia like immediately.
And it made it impossible.
No, it was still easy to win the war, but then afterwards you have like tasks you have to do to make them not respect the guy anymore, or they might rebel and like fight again. It's like
just eats political power.
Yeah, and it's just annoying as fuck. But I did a Japan run and fucking took over China in record time. But like
how quick?
It was like 1937, I think. Or like,
Jesus.
I think it was August of 1937. Yeah, or maybe 38.
You're cracked at that game.
Dude, I know. I just like watched a couple guides and learned like different shit and why they do it, and then apply that to other countries.
Yeah, I never watched a single video on that game still.
You remember whenever I first like started learning, I was just like,
you're studying that fucking game.
Dude, like I was at work and like there was like literally a 9-part series of like 30-minute long videos that were just like explaining the mechanics of it. And like I watched every one of them and I was just like, I still don't think I even know like I know what shit is, but I still need to know how to like actually do it.
The only game I ever did that with was Tarkov, and like that
Worth
game.
it or no?
No, because it's still like that game isn't a strategy game to where like just knowing the mechanics, then you can just do it. Like then it's like, okay, now you know all the mechanics and you spent like 100 hours learning all this information and you're just still bad and gonna get one tapped and not gonna win a gunfight.
Didn't you say that people will just like sit in corners and like of rooms and wait for you to walk in and literally
Sometimes.
That's so annoying. Like Call of Duty, that's annoying, but like in a raid, whenever you have to like wait like 3 minutes to get in a lobby
And loot fear. Lose all your shit.
you can lose the shit that you go in with.
Yeah.
So you would always empty your shit out before you go on a raid, then, right? Or do you need some shit to like
No,
be-
because like you need your gun and your ammo, you need like your meds, and if you're gonna wear armor and a helmet and all that shit, if you're gonna like bring grenades.
Dude.
And then it could all come down to one fucking Russian homeless dude on crack runs out, the Scav AIs, just like strafing, sprinting sideways with a sawed-off shotgun and just hits you in the eye socket from like 40 meters away. And you just lost like 350K worth of shit.
Oh my God. The Scavs are just like crazy Russians? Mm-hmm. Damn, I thought they were like a Russian like hit squad out there that was like professional.
But, well, there are like because there's the normal scavs that are like homeless crackheads with bullshit wearing like Ushankas with the flaps. And then there's like the raiders on certain maps and they're like actual like professional AI dudes. And then like all the human players are supposed to be like old ex-PMCs that got abandoned there.
What are PMCs?
Private military contractors.
Oh shit. Like fucking shit that Tim Kennedy does. Do you know who that is? Mm-mm. He was a Navy SEAL, and then he was over there like whenever fucking Afghanistan like fell back to the Taliban, and like he was like, that was like obviously the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. Yeah. He's like, if you asked anybody in the military that's been here, like fucking, if any of them would have known that every inch that we backed up the Taliban was going to take up, and it got to the point that like they literally only had he wasn't even there with the military because they obviously pulled out and left. Mm-hmm. But he was there fucking on contracting shit, like saving people, like getting Afghanistan people like out the fuck out of there. Because like the Taliban was taking over, and like if those people were helping,
government wasn't going to do it
exactly.
properly.
And like there were people that were like helping America, and like they were going to get fucking hung from helicopters, like some of them did. And like he was there to like actually get them. And like sometimes he'd show up like just a second too late. And like literally some Taliban niggas would pull up and like cut someone's head off like right there in the hood of his car. Like they'd be like right in front of them and they'd just be like, what are you going to do about it? And like, you're not going to do anything about it. Cause if you do, there's a lot more of them than there are of you. And like, they weren't there to like fight niggas. They were there to like save people, but they were just in the airport. And there was a whole Taliban, like they had to sneak through like the Taliban shit. Cause like they had checkpoints to like let people in. So they had full control of the airport, and like people would try and like come and like bring their babies and shit. And like he was like only allowed to bring people who they had like the full paperwork for and that they paid for.
Weren't they like throwing babies over a barbed wire fence?
Yeah. Like the moms, like they literally just wanted someone inside the airport to pick up their babies. And there's fucking like this horrible wire, like that's like barbed wire, but something different on the other side. So like
razor wire.
Yeah, I think so. And fucking, he used some other word for it that wasn't razor wire, but like they're throwing babies over and they're landing in that shit. And like there was fires. And so like there'd be like dead babies on fire and they would literally just step over it. And he was like, the craziest shit that he'd seen is like, if they needed to do crowd control, like the Taliban, they would literally just take out an AK and just spray into a crowd, like with no like thought about it. And it's like, holy fuck, dude.
Oh my god.
There was an ex-Navy SEAL that fucking also went over there to do some sort of like rescue mission. And like he was getting people out of like a hospital. And he was like, he had one tank and like the tank ended up stopping working. And like they were going by like some hospital and they had a plane come and drop like a layer of smoke and they ended up saving people. And like it was a super heroic thing. And I fucking don't even remember all the details, but it was nuts.
Dude, it's crazy how like the shit we see in like action movies, it seems like unbelievable. Like shit even crazier than that has been done by real fucking blokes.
Dude, and then whenever they make movies about that shit, they just embellish and they don't tell the full story or they make shit up. It's like, all right, that's a little gay.
Dude, like, I forget what it was called, but there's one of the like coolest fucking military stories I've ever heard. And you know how little respect I have for French people, but the French actually did this.
What'd they do?
It was their like counterterrorism group. I think they're the first country in the world to have a counter-terrorist force. I forget what they're called because I'm retarded and high as shit. But
probably something gay.
yeah, but basically, like, there's in Ethiopia, I think, a bunch of like terrorist dudes had captured a bus full of like kids,
the school-age girls, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It was like the 190 of them. Or something like that.
And they had their bus like all fucking locked down with like AKs and shit and had them hostage. And like I can't remember if it was the UN. I think it was the UN was like on their way with like a vehicle convoy to like help out the like French counter-terrorists because it was just like 8 of them. And it was basically set up to where it was like the school bus with all the kids and it was like surrounded by like 10 armed dudes and then they had like a base on the other side of it set up and then it was just like a bunch of like open desert and like the French dudes like came across that open desert and had their fucking sniper rifles and revolvers. That's all they pulled up with. And then there was like the highway was like kind of like going in the same direction through the desert, but like far away. And then they're going to like try and come and I guess like flank them or whatever to give them like real support. And the UN dudes break down on the highway like several miles away from where the fucking hostage situation is taking place. So they never even show up. And they're like the majority of the firepower. So it was like, I want to say it was like 8 to 10 of these like French dudes just out there literally in like T-shirts, khaki pants, and with sunglasses and their sniper rifles and 357 Magnums. And there's like 150 yards of just open desert between their little like sniping spot and like where all the fucking terrorists are at. And they just like post up and get ready to take like the most insane synchronized shot of all time to where they all fired at the exact same second and killed like 8 of the dudes that were all around the bus. They pop these dudes, and then 2 of them, I think, or it might have just been 1, but I'm pretty sure it was 2, literally put down their sniper rifles, pull out their 357 Magnums, and tack sprint 150 yards across the, like, kill zone, basically, while they're getting fucking sprayed at with AKs and shit by these fucking absolute retard henchmen. And there was a lot more than 2 dudes, like, further away though, so they only got the guys in like the immediate radius, and one of them was still in the bus, I'm pretty sure. And they end up they literally tack sprint across that shit getting sprayed at with their Magnums out, and then pull up on the bus, and like one of the guys ends up taking the dude that was on the bus takes one of the little girls like hostage at gunpoint. And they end up like frying this dude with like a headshot, like some ignorant shit. I think one of the girls ended up getting killed though somehow. But yeah, they literally just like the 2 dudes.
It's bad, but like you can lose one in that scenario. Like that sucks. But like he's got the like, what are you gonna do? Just like give him the gun and not kill him?
Exactly. But then like, the UN never shows up, and they just end up absolutely destroying all the rest of these fucking henchmen with their little Magnums. Just
God damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's fire as fuck. My respect from France, I have 2 things I respect about them. One is Napoleon, but like they fucking kicked him out, so like that's negative respect in the opposite direction. And then 2 is now that. I guess I give them 3 that their soccer team is pretty good.
Dude, my African history professor always, like, several times in several class periods, he's brought up, like, Toussaint Louverture getting finessed hard as shit by Napoleon. And,
whenever
like,
he
the
got
French
sent
government.
out to fucking Haiti?
No, I mean, like...
or was it the Dominican Republic, or...
No, because Toussaint Louverture was the one that, like, led the revolt in Haiti and, like, kicked the French out and, like, declared, like, their independence. And they've had that for, like, 10 years maybe, and then Napoleon was like, no. That's not facts, my guy. Like, you're
like,
still our slaves. Yeah. And then they end up...
Don't make me pull up over there.
Yeah, but then he did actually pull up, like, not himself, but some of the French Navy pulled up, and I think they actually got clapped out. And then the British were like, we can't let our people get any ideas and, like, start doing this shit. So we're gonna pull up and help the French free of charge, which was a rare collab at the time.
French and the English did not really like each other.
Yeah, but they were like black people thinking that they have rights.
No, they need
we
to
might
calm
have
this
to
shit
pitch
down.
in on that one.
That's gonna be an issue. We cannot let this get out.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
like,
they
COVID
got clapped out
misinformation,
too.
dude.
They got clapped out too. And then France was
Black
like,
people
okay.
too, Europe 0.
France was like, all right, let's go back to the drawing board. What are black people's weaknesses? And Napoleon's like, they're dumb as fuck. And they're like, they send him a letter. They're like, hey, Toussaint, like, you know what? Like, we decided we can be homies. Like, all hard feelings are gone. Like, come hang out with us in France. And he's like, okay. And he pulls up to France and gets immediately thrown in, like, the darkest hole in a prison.
What a retard. I don't know why he bought that. I'd have been like, okay, we can be homies you come over here. I want you to see my country.
Yeah.
And then I would have pulled the Barcelona double cross on him and fucking killed them.
Yeah. Pull up with the Blix.
Dude, that's kind of like how you would be in charge back in the day. It's just being like the most willing to kill whoever was ever in your way.
It's pretty much how it worked out, I think, most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of stopped. Like now in America, that really was a place that wasn't happening as much. 'Cause, like, you can't just kill president and join, be the person that gets
That'd be
it.
so based.
The only person that's been like really accused of that is Lyndon B. Johnson. And I don't really even know about that. And it's because JFK got assassinated, but there's like, JFK could have been killed by him, by the mob, because they rigged the fucking Chicago primary. So he won that. And then he was like, fuck these Guidos, I'm out. And like, he was like, RFK was fucking investigating them because he was the attorney general. And he's like, get your brother off of our back. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Just you got to get me president. And like, they're like, okay, we'll do it. And fucking.
Fine.
Exactly. And so JFK fucking, the mob might have wanted to do it. And then the other person is the CIA who might have wanted to do it because they were fucking, he said that he wanted to get rid of that. He was like, the CIA is like a very secret, evil organization. And like, if you knew half the stuff that they're doing, then you would not be happy. And
yeah. I mean, they are like the most insane, like, terrorist organization to ever exist.
Dude.
Like, organized crime ring.
They do, like, they're literally the ones that fucking, well, no, the FBI actually. People are liking the FBI and the CIA, but like,
The CIA wishes they were on that level.
The CIA is an international crime thing. And so that's why they get like, they're actually in some shit.
They've trafficked more drugs than any individual organization in the world, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, if you look at Afghanistan's, their export of heroin, because they grow a lot of poppy like plants over there. And fucking they're like, when 2000, I think they're like 40% of the world's like where 40% of the world's heroin
Now,
came
didn't you
from.
say they're like 90?
Well, it was like 2002. So like right after we got over there, and it was like 92% or something like that.
God
It
damn.
might have been 2004 or something.
We're like, we're going to ramp that up.
Yeah. Fucking, that's the real reason.
We're going to take all this drug money and give it to Halliburton.
Dude, Halliburton, no, they got their money because they're like, oh, well, we're a company that rebuilds, like an investment company that'll come and like rebuild all your shit for you. But like, we get like $1 billion, like a multi-billion-dollar contract to do it. So like, we're not doing this out of the goodness of our heart.
Yeah.
And like Dick Cheney was the fucking vice president at the time that fucking 9/11 happened, which is the thing that set it all in motion for us to go and do that. And then there's also the fact that NORAD, the North American like air defense shit, like they're really good at responding to shit. But that day they were running drills of literally towers getting hit and shit by like other planes. And so they're like, is this part of the drill or like what? And the response time was down to like 30 minutes. I don't know. The Building 7 thing I backed off on. I think that the video is just very short and it doesn't show the fact that was on fire the entire time. But I think that they were like, I think it was planes that hit it. And I think that the Dick Cheney fucking set that shit up. Because like they're cool with fucking Bin Laden because he was a part of the Mossad, not the Mossad, the Mujahideen.
Yeah.
And they were fighting Russia. And Russia had their own reason they wanted to get there. Probably also for the heroin. But they wanted to get there because they wanted a straight path to get to India.
Dude, imagine if Russia owned Afghanistan and India now.
That would be very bad. That would be really,
Soviet
really bad.
Union never collapsed.
Dude, I need to do that on a Soviet Union gameplay. Because Afghanistan's an easy target. Then India is pretty weak to start out with, but then you're in a war with England.
Yeah. Unless you get hella lucky and they like go independent super early.
Independent. Yeah, fucking. That's only whenever, like, that's like whenever England does one of the two, like, the change in ways where they'll change their political shit to either monarchy or fucking non-aligned or fascist, or I think they can do also communist. But I never really like doing the communist one for some reason. I think that one's the best, though.
Because commies are gay.
I always think that one's going to send me in a civil war. And, like, the fascist one, I know how to do that with England. Dude, fucking Tim Kennedy, I was talking about him earlier. He had a show about, like, hunting Nazis down in South America. Did you know that there's, like, full German-speaking towns in, like, South America that are, like, German fucking houses and, like, fully German people?
Yeah.
That shit is nuts to me. Like, fucking, I mean, I guess it's not really a fucking...
Did tuna just snap you?
No.
Okay.
I'm dumb Tinder whore. But, like, I used to think it was, like, a conspiracy theory that, like, the Nazis really did get away to South America. But I bet, like...
they went to Argentina.
That's so fucking fire.
Argentina and I think, like, what, Bolivia...
They went into Chile. Chile, yeah, because that was that's specifically where he went, was to a place called Colonia Dignidad, and it was like some like thing where they were basically doing not as bad concentration camps, but like pretty much as bad with the torture, but they weren't doing the death camp part. And it was like on children and shit, like just doing random tests on them. It was like really fucking bad.
It was like German scientists.
Yep, and like
Jesus.
They were working with Pinochet because he was a fascist leader that took over. Yeah, fucking. Actually, I think that was No, actually, I think that was Pinochet's time. But fucking, so it was like in the 70s that they were doing it, and fucking, that's Gustavo Fring's background. Is like he was apparently a part of that, and like the German guy that got him in, what was that company called? Madrigal. Like they got Los Pollos Hermanos on there. He was the one that like helped them in there. And it's like, oh, I wonder what a German dude was doing in Chile at that time. And like fucking, I used to think that it was like, I've heard it described two ways where like Gustavo, you don't really know how old he is. So he could have either been like one of Pinochet's henchmen that like betrayed him. And like, it could have been like the nigga that actually killed him and like had to dip away from Chile. Or he could have been like a person that was a part of Colonia Dignidad and got saved and then went to be a part of the people that killed him like afterwards. But like he's definitely one of those fucking crazy fucks that were over there. Dude, South American wars are nuts. Those dudes fucking go crazy on each other.
Dude, I don't know like any South American history, to be honest, from like my history studies for my degree.
I was talking to a girl that's also a history major, and she was saying the same shit. And like she was saying that she was in that East Asian class that was like 3 hours long, and I was like, I think my friend Jake had that, and she's like, yeah, the dude's a super boring lecturer, and I was like, damn,
no, she's tripping,
or she's just a dumb bitch.
That was Professor Shapiro, bro. That's like one of the best professors I had.
Yeah,
if it was East Asian history too, then yeah, she's smoking peen. But if she was talking about Korean history, that dude. That's like the worst professor I've ever had.
Was that the dude that would like come in and be like sweaty as fucking mad, like screaming about?
No.
Oh, wait, was it the Mexican dude that was like,
yes,
for Cinco? What did he say about Cinco de Mayo?
She was like, you're not going to just like, all you white people in this class aren't going to go out and just cosplay our culture. It's not just a costume to be put on and mocked. Like, I know all you guys are probably going to go wear a sombrero and put on a fake mustache and drink tequila and eat tacos. But our culture is serious and shouldn't be treated like a joke. And everyone's like,
what a faggot. I guarantee if he would have said that in front of any Mexican, they would have probably like actually booed him.
Dude, there was like several Mexicans in that class and they're like,
you're the only person that feels this way.
yeah. I mean, most of the people in that class, low key, because it was like 100 level history class that I just like had slipped through the cracks because I didn't do history my first year. Obviously, I switched.
Yeah.
And that's when I would have taken the first year. But like half the class was like 18-year-olds that were literally playing like Chromebook games, like fucking autistic little kids. And the other half were like old ass people that were like taking like those classes that they missed like to finish their degree. So there's a bunch of like 25-year-old people in there that like he was like directing it at, and they're like,
fuck that, dude. But there's a little bit of South American history that I know. Like right after Brazil got their freedom, it was like called like the Triple War or the Triple Alliance War, and it was between like Brazil versus Uruguay and fucking Paraguay. And I believe Paraguay was fighting against Argentina and Uruguay was also fighting against Argentina. And it was like right after Brazil got their freedom, and like Paraguay used to be a part of Argentina, but they had broke off and were like, we're our own thing.
Really?
And Brazil was like, that's good. We want a buffer state in between us. But then like they decided they were going to like actually fight Argentina or something. This is very vaguely that I know, like, but I just know that there's like a war between them, and then fucking Paraguay. It was over like the land dispute with Brazil. It was Brazil versus Uruguay and fucking Paraguay. And it was like a dispute between over which river separated their actual like demilitarized zone. And they're just like, it was Paraguay trying to make it harder for Brazil to like travel through the Amazon rivers.
they're like, nah, you're gonna give us more space.
Yeah, they're like, no, we're definitely gonna go through here. And like fucking, it's crazy. Like I didn't even think about like how cracked it is to have like something like the Mississippi River. But like there's a YouTube channel I started watching called Real Life Lore. And it like, that's where I found out the Anchorage was cracked. And he was like saying like why America is like the best country in the world, and like why pretty much anyone that settled and got this entire space would have been the best in the world. And he was just describing like obviously the isolationism because we have two giant fucking oceans to separate us. But like one of the things he was talking about is like how easy it is to transport goods all through like our country, just because the Mississippi River like splits up and goes everywhere. And like if you have that, you can take a boat from like the middle of like Missouri and then end up getting out to like, or you can go out through the fucking New Orleans and then go around the Horn of Florida and go and like transport shit. And like we have a lot of farmland and shit in there that like is actually supplying everything else. So now you don't have to use like,
all of our like agriculture's like centralized, low key.
it's all in like a big little area. It's like it's pretty, I mean like it's a little area of America, but it's big. Like it's the size of France, I believe, or like 3 times the size of France. And it's like right between Arkansas and like a little bit into Michigan, and like in that area kind of there's a big blob there. Like Nebraska's in it. I think Oklahoma's like right out of it, or maybe they're in it a little bit. But fucking, that's like our most fertile land for like certain shit. But like California also grows like, they grow a fuck ton of shit and they just like supply the West with it.
Yeah.
Because like we don't grow shit out here other than dry ass weed that the dispensaries get.
Yeah.
Fucking, I mean, it's not super desert, obviously. We have some trees and shit, but like actually having like,
But it's like dirt.
yeah, I know. It's like fucking, if you were trying to start a farm out here, you would be, I don't know if that would work well. Fucking Walter's, hey, look, it's that You show I was telling you. Spent 30 minutes describing. Oh, shit.
That was fire.
But, Dude, god damn it. I have ADHD.
Dude, I've had to write down a couple fire quotes from the Stockton boys in the past couple weeks. You want to hear them?
Yeah.
Okay, there was a good one today from Jay. Finally got to meet Jay, the legendary Stockton lore character. And fucking Grant, like, he was hella hungry because he was hammered and, like, laying down sick as fuck.
Is this after he already threw up on... Oh,
yep.
Please tell that story.
Okay, so this man, he, like, was blacked out by, like, noon when he got here because he drank 7 beers on the way from Stockton, apparently, in the car. And
did he drive?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He was just throwing them out the window as he drank each one. But, he was, like, blacked by, like, noon. Apparently, he, like, went out their back slider door, and they have a porch with, like, 2 little steps down. And it was icy still. And he was, like, standing on the edge of the step, starts throwing up, and then slips on the ice, throws up on himself, and then, like, eats shit down onto the ground, like, into his pile of vomit. And then he's, like, laying there trying to recover. And they took a video of, like, 3 of them throwing snowballs at him, which is so fucked. But he was laying there, like, saying he wanted food. And me and Grant were just taking a bowl, and he was like, Grant, he was like, please, I need food. Like, hit me up on food. And Grant's like, let's go to Beach Hut Deli, which is a place with like $20 sandwiches. Like, they're good, but like nobody's trying to spend $20 on a sandwich. Grant always wants to go there like every day.
Yeah, I know. He mentioned it fucking like 4 times whenever we were over there in the last 2 days.
Yeah, but I was like, Jay, bruh, do not go to Beach Hut Deli with this dude. And he was like, when you go in there, they just give you like a sandwich with a cigarette hanging out of it and like half a slice of Swiss cheese. Or no, he said, and then after that, he was like imitating Grant ordering it. And he was like, yeah, give me a sandwich with 1 piece of spinach, half a piece of Swiss, and just cum on the rest of it.
Okay.
That shit had me weak as fuck.
Look at Jay be saying the most gay shit in the fucking... Dude.
The COD lobbies.
Yes. He says the gay shit, and Jacob says the funny racist shit. I'm not going to
Like
get into all the details.
When his mom has, like, all their family friends over, and he's...
We can stop it at that, because we don't want to... But let's say he was screaming some racial epithets and was asked to stop and didn't. And, like, that is just the funniest shit to me, but fucking...
It's funny to imagine him doing that, and they said he was literally, like, blackout drunk and, like, was throwing up in front of everyone.
He drank, like, 2 boxes of Trulies and, like, some other shit, I'm pretty sure. Those niggas drink... When they drink hard.
Okay, here's another good one. This one was from B-Man. When someone, like... I think Truax said that he wanted to play a drinking game, like hockey or something. B-Man was like, let's just play Duck, Duck, Goose or Heads Up, 7-Up, but if you lose, you shotgun like 5 beers.
Okay, these aren't even like Stockton sayings. This is just funny shit they said.
know, exactly. But I gotta archive it because they're like the funniest motherfuckers, I swear.
Dude, just sometimes the lingo they use, like whenever they say cack, like I had to ask them because they said like, they're like, you were cacked last night, and like said like 3 different things, and like I had thrown up a lot, and so I imagine that's what they're saying like happened. And like then Shrek's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna cack, and I was like, oh, what? Did you drink a lot? He's like, no, that's like go to sleep. I was like, what?
It's hard to keep up sometimes.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of them. They fucking. Dude, they just be hitting me with the ones that fucking surprise me. Honestly, just the way they say things sometimes too. Like whenever, dude, I'm gonna bleep his name out there, but fucking, we were in a COD lobby and like, Guy and Nick were like, Guy was like, Nick, you wanna play 2K? And Nick was like, I'm already on it. Look, Nick's already left the game, and then I look again and Guy has left, so it's a search match, and now it's a 4v6, and like, I'm like, yeah, fuck this. Like, I'm about to get off too. And I didn't say anything. I go and like turn off my Modern Warfare, and this man yells, which one of you niggers pulled us all out of the game? And I was just like almost in tears, like laughing. And I had my mic muted, and I was still like, I did not want this nigga to hear me that I was the one that did that. That shit was so fucking funny. And then Jacob said he was the one that did it, and I was just like, I have no clue, but that was fucking hilarious regardless.
That's fucking hilarious.
I'm just imagining them in a 2v6 and Seabass actually clutching it. It's annoying how good that nigga actually is at fucking COD.
Yeah, he is pretty good.
But I suck, so I have like no good bearing on like what a good person is. I know Guy is pretty good, but fucking...
I haven't played like a normal COD, like multiplayer in a while, but I wasn't bad at Warzone.
This is the fucking one, dude.
Really?
Yeah, like to play the
I've heard the sniping is good, and you remember how much of a monster I was sniping before they nerfed the shit on Warzone.
I mean, I'm not good at it by any means, but like I've sniped a couple niggas, like not quickscoped, but like I can never do that in Warzone. Like fucking...
It killed me when they nerfed all the snipers in Warzone, dude, because I was like Loki, the only reason why I got on there, because it was so fun to just drop like 14 fucking sniper kills.
Dude, I would just drop like 2 every like 3 games and be like, yes, I'm not completely useless. Dude, then when we started playing Rebirth, I would get like less kills, and I was just like, yeah, this is not good. I needed a break from Warzone. But this is a fucking really good COD, dude. This is my favorite. Well, I mean, this is like the only one I've really played. No, because I played Black Ops 3 and 4. But like, this is probably my favorite one since Black Ops 2.
It's high praise.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as good as Black Ops 2, I don't think.
Hope the new Warzone's good. That's when I'll get it.
They're
I need to get it before then so I can level guns up.
I was going to say, bro, you should probably go ahead and get that bitch. No cap.
Warzone comes out in 5 days.
Yeah. Wait, what's today?
The 11th.
I think it might come out the 15th, actually.
Today's 11.
Oh, shit, it's Veterans Day.
And it's the 11th anniversary since Skyrim came out.
You're a faggot. Dude.
Skyrim really dropped on 11/11/11. That was pretty hard.
That's kind of sick. How long was it hyped up? Because it was Elder Scrolls before that, right?
Well, it's Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. Oh. All of them were. They follow that naming format.
I never really played
Elder Scrolls Arena, Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall, Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Which one was the best?
I mean, I played Skyrim the most. I've played a Morrowind recently because Morrowind was too hard when I was a kid. Like, that game was like a genuine, like, old style RPG game that, like, you get fucked on if you're like a child trying to just learn how to play it. Yeah. But I had actually got like a multiplayer mod. I think I told you about it potentially, but me and Demetrius were playing it a little bit, and I ended up mostly playing it by myself. But Morrowind is like almost an entirely different game from Skyrim. Even like it's an older game, but it's got like more advanced mechanics, which is kind of crazy.
Really?
Yeah. Like from Morrowind to Oblivion, they definitely like dumbed the game down a lot. Like, not necessarily for the worst, but it's like a different experience for sure. So,
which one of the Fallouts do you like the best?
New Vegas.
Dude,
easy question.
That's crazy because like I would just assume that it would be the fucking like newest one.
No, yeah, like they lost almost all of like the essence of Fallout when they made Fallout 4. I feel like they made a super fun game, like gameplay and mechanic wise, but they lost like all of the like soul.
Yeah.
And like the writing was not there. The decision making system was not there.
Dude, I love that one just because like I don't be fucking with story at all.
Yeah. Like it's like Fallout 4 is like a blockbuster movie, and then like Fallout New Vegas is definitely like some fucking niche cult shit.
But it's like a classic.
Yeah, it's got the character. It's like a fucking Kubrick, damn near.
Dude, that nigga is insane. He would make people do like 100 shots. Well, not that many, but he'd make people redo shots, and they'd be like, "What's wrong with this one?" Nothing. Dude, I just want another.
Fucking, because Eyes Wide Shut, I think, like, almost ended Tom Cruise's career because that was his first big role, and it took like I think 3 years to film.
Dude. I would have been
and that,
so
like,
mad.
All of the, like, tension of doing that, because he was married to Nicole Kidman, who was, like, his co-star in that movie. It was literally they were married in the movie, and that, like, I'm pretty sure is a huge contributor to them splitting up, too.
Dude, I think whenever Tom Cruise fucking was... I think Nicole Kidman was the first one that he was with, or the second one. But anyways... Fucking, he was super happy about her and was like jumping on the couch at Oprah. And do you know who Leah Remini is? The bitch from King of Queens?
No.
Well, she was a Scientologist, and that was literally like the downfall of her like believing in Scientology, because she was like writing a report on him. Like, I think that what he did was unprofessional, and he showed Scientologists in a bad light, and they like took her to to Clearwater, Florida, and interrogated her for like 6 months. And like, she was like, okay, I don't buy this shit anymore. Like, she was not even, I don't buy it. She was just like, I fucking hate these people now. And they're like, Leah, just come back. And, we're sorry, we made a mistake, but you can come back and you can still make this right. She's like, no. What is the mistake that you made? And like, they're like, just come back, Leah. And they're going to send her ass the same place they sent Ron Miscavige. Fucking the nigga's dad that was David Miscavige's, like the nigga that's the leader. They had him in a place called Gold Base Productions in fucking Hemet, California. And,
is that like their sex dungeon?
Not really a sex dungeon. Like, they have a lot of people there that like can't really leave though. And like, they don't have a choice to leave. And like, some of them, like,
That's horrifying.
They have a community like that. If you're a Scientologist and you're a devout one and you're not questioning anything, like, you'll probably enjoy it a little bit, because you're like, I don't really want to be around like a bunch of people that aren't Scientologists that are negative. These are the people I like to be around. But then like Ron started realizing, like, he got a Kindle. David gave him a Kindle for his birthday, and like, they didn't go and like, because if you got an electronic, they would like go through it and like disable your ability to like access the internet.
Yeah, they give you the like kitty privacy controls.
Exactly. But Ron, since he's David's son, they didn't vet him like that whenever he got a gift from him. And so he went and like found out himself, like, shit, like where Shelley Miscavige went, which I think she ended up turning up again. Or like, actually what happened is Leah Remini was a crazy bitch, and she's like, where's Shelley? And like, called the cops, and like, they went there and like, yeah, she's fine. And like, but did you see her? And they're like, we can't tell you anything. And she was like, I'm the one that called the police. What are you talking about? And like, then there's like a whole thing of where's Shelley? And they're just like, yeah, we saw her. And I don't know if she's actually came out or anything, but
damn.
Yeah, that's gotta suck. But Sea Organization duty's way worse. That's whenever they would go on the boat with LRH, and fucking
just get their throat fucked out by him or something.
Not even. It wasn't really sex shit like that. It was really just like him taking advantage. Like, they would be like scrubbing the floors with like their toothbrushes and shit,
swabbing the poop deck,
literally shit like that, and like just making his life be awesome. Because like, the only reason he was in international waters is because he didn't want to pay taxes.
Making his life be awesome. That's sick as fuck, though.
For him, that's a sick deal.
Hell yeah.
And there's a couple people that were probably up there also that were like, this is pretty fun being in this position. But everyone else has signed like a $1 billion contract to like make no money, because you're like, oh, well, I'm a Scientologist. Like, I want to, like, I'm saving the universe.
Dude, the federal government's probably so jealous.
They're like, what? How did you do that? Or he was no, he definitely wasn't. They wanted his ass.
Dude, speaking of the federal government, did you vote?
No, I'm not
Me neither. Dude, Jimbo
my residency's in Georgia.
Huh?
My residency's in Georgia. I'm not switching that.
Yeah. Fucking Jimbo is so mad at me. I was like the day of voting, he was like, you need to go vote. And I was like, no, they've like wasted way too much of my time through YouTube propaganda. Like,
neither of them deserve it.
Like, just from ads, like I made a joke. I was like, they've wasted a year of my life in the past like month with these political ads. And he fucking he was like, just go, you need to just at least put all R's on there. That's better than nothing. And I was like, you're just like the Dems, Jimbo. You're just trying to brainwash me and influence me. He was like, I'm not like the Dems. But then I was like, listen, Jimbo, I can't be concerned with what some nerds in suits across the country are doing when I'm busy shooting guns, smoking weed, having sex, and lifting weights. And he was like, shut the fuck up.
Dude, we're straight now. We just got fucking Steve Cock in his mouth, Sisolak out, and we got fucking Joe Lombardo.
We got him out?
Yeah, we got Joe Lombardo now.
Okay.
Dude, like, literally
so many YouTube ads, though, that are like, Joe Lombardo failed us as a sheriff. He should never be our governor.
No, I've seen those same ones, but you know what's crazy is, like, I'm going to assume that the reason his power was dulled is because Steve Sisolak was in charge.
Steve Sisolak's a fucking...
He's literally wanted to be Gavin Newsom Jr. And California's so fucked, and those people are so dumb that they're going to vote him back in, probably. Fucking Gavin Newsom.
That's wild.
Because he was about to get recalled, and then like it was like, finally, this nigga's been doing gross miscarriages of justice upon people, like fucking shutting the government, the entire economy down, and then keeping his vineyard open, and then going out like without mask there.
And copping like $2.4 million out of the COVID relief budget.
And they're just like, nah, he's all right. Like, we can let him finish his term. They're probably going to vote him back in. Dude, and meanwhile, we
I
have
respect the grind.
Yeah, I mean, just stealing from people. Like, that's pretty lit. Like, if you're a politician.
I respect the grind of just absolutely ruining your state as much as possible and never learning a lesson. I think being stupid is based.
I understand, like, his perspective of fucking it up. But, like, what I don't like is whenever the people that lived there and voted him in fucking are like, all right, well, now I hate how it is here. I'm going somewhere else. And then they vote the same way and then fucking get the same people there and, like, they ruin it.
How'd that happen?
Yeah. Dude, fucking, that's what they were worried about that happening in Texas. Like, literally the governor of Texas was talking to Joe whenever he came over and he was like, all right, Joe, like, we like you and we're glad you're here, but like, just remember why you left California, dude. And he was like, that's a good point. And like, he brought that up to people and like said it because he's like, please don't follow me here from California. Because like, people will obviously just fucking follow Joe, but like, people did it anyways. And Texas is not a swing state by any means, but like it used to be like fully red, and now like Austin's got a lot of population that fucking is blue.
Yeah, because it's a bunch of. I mean, there's only two things that come from Texas: steers and queers, and all the queers are gonna vote blue.
Yeah, and all the steers have been pushed up to Oklahoma.
Yeah, Dude, that's why Seabass wants to move to Texas so bad. He can do his Luke Combs fans cosplay and go out to the gay honky tonk and get his fucking booty cheeks clapped by some burly cowboy and recreate Brokeback Mountain.
Dude, Opie and Anthony made fun of that movie when it came out, and they're like watching the trailer, and there was like a clip of it where the dude is like, I can't quit you. And they just like kept on fucking playing that over and over and saying it.
Did I finish what you were saying? Sorry.
People would just like call that guy the gay cowboy actor from that point on.
Nice. What actors were even in that movie?
I have no clue.
Okay. The gay cowboy actors.
Yeah, the gay cowboy, the faggots, Knight the Bendis.
Did I ever tell you about the like Brokeback Mountain psyop that me and Dominic pulled on Jay in like 6th or 7th grade, maybe?
No, what'd you do?
It was the dumbest shit. Like, we used to do the most nonsensical things in the fucking Xbox 360 parties, to where we'd literally just have like a bit that takes like 3 hours to set up, and it was usually Jay on the receiving end, unfortunately. But dude, I can't even remember how we set this shit up, to be honest. I'm so sad that I've fried my mind with marijuana and I can't remember shit like this anymore. But like, we convinced him, he was like, somehow we convinced him that Brokeback Mountain was like something cool, like not what it was at all. Fuck, I wish I could fucking remember what we said that it was. We convinced Jay that Brokeback Mountain was something completely different than what it was over the course of like 2 hours of playing Battlefield 4.
And he didn't just look it up to see what it was?
No, he finally looks it up and we were like, look up the images, like, so that you can see what we're talking about, because whatever it was, like, God, I'm a fucking idiot. That makes me sad that my memory's actually that shit. But, he finally looks it up after such an unnecessary amount of like grooming him, and he's like, there's two guys kissing each other, and just starts like screaming. And that was like
natural response.
Yeah, that was the most satisfying possible like culmination of like a retarded 2-hour bit of my entire life.
Dude, the only fucking 2 hour. No, it's not. I wouldn't even say it's a bit. Only like 2 hour long. I guess not conversationally, because we'll be in the Discord for longer. But if me and Jay are talking about one topic for 2 hours, we're usually screaming at each other.
Dude,
we haven't done that in a while though.
Yeah, because there hasn't been much Discord in the Discord.
Yeah, fucking that was the good old days. Whenever dude, fucking people would say they hated it, but that was when the most people were in the Discord. Whenever every night it'd be me screaming at Jimbo, or screaming at Jay, or Jay screaming at Jimbo, or something like that, talking about something.
Yeah, I know.
And everyone was just listening.
Dude, it was literally like the fucking. It was like where was the place in Athens where all the philosophers gathered?
Fucking the Pantheon. I have no clue. I don't pay attention to those boy fuckers' histories.
Yeah, but that's what it was like. I swear to God, it was like great minds came together in that Discord and debated.
We would bring up a bunch of shit, and it'd be like Christianity, abortion, and like. I will say most of those have shifted more to the right now, just because it's like running from the left. Not even as much as I actually believe it, but like the pro-life thing, I can see. Like the thing is, like the fucking abortion topic should not be like the major deciding factor of like who you're going to vote for. Like gun control, I feel is actually important because like if you believe that you need gun control, like
your rights are gone.
Yeah, like fucking if like one person believes that you need it and one person doesn't, that's like a thing that you can't really, you need to address that. But like with the abortion thing, I just feel like it needs to be fucking used not less than it is, basically. But like you can't just say you can't do it.
Yeah. That's definitely brain dead solution.
And like also it's just like I don't really believe in the government stepping in to stop people from doing shit. But then on the people like that are really pro-life, they think that they're killing a baby. Yeah. And it's like they do have a point.
That's actually like a discussion I had with my mom last night about, because she was saying like the way, dude, fuck, smoking weed is so bad. She was complaining about some sort of private institution like functioning improperly, and she was saying like, I don't know why there aren't like laws against that. Like they should make laws against that. And I was like, but that's what's led to this like kind of system that we exist in, where the government like is the rule makers on everything and like has influence over anything, because instead of just like taking it upon ourselves like as dissatisfied consumers of said institution to just like take it up with them and improve it, we just like go and cry to the government and be like, you need to tell them to do this or something. And that's like the most like short, or I guess like nearsighted and like brainlet way to like improve institutions or like private enterprises, I guess, is to just like go to the government and be like, you need to tell them to do this. Because we've done that with literally like every facet of
like with the Mark Zuckerberg shit where they had him in, dude, everyone always references that interview and like they say like how weird he was. I've actually watched like a big portion of it because I was just at work and had it playing in the background. It was literally just like none of those people that like are senators and are voting for us had any idea how technology worked at all. Yeah. Like it was just like them being like, well, I can't remember a specific thing because it was literally months ago, but it'd be like them asking, so you knew that people were getting their information stolen? He's like, no, I actually just found out about it. And when I did, I cut those people off and like removed them from the company. They'd just be like, so you can see us like all the time in our houses, and like just dumb questions like that. I wish I'd like watched it more recently, because it'd just be like, oh, like, is there some sort of control for that app? And it'd just be like questions that you're like, yeah. Anybody that had any idea about fucking like actual, like anyone that has used an iPhone would just be like, what are you talking about? Like when they're talking about social media, like you're like, that's not a question. Shut up. Like, stop talking. And then Zuckerberg was just like repeating himself and like fucking answering basically the same question over and over again. And then he was just like eventually tired out. And then that's the parts they show where he's like, oh yeah. And they're like, he looks like a robot.
It's yeah, because he's been there for 4 hours getting asked nonsense by boomers.
I would never go to Congress. I don't give a fuck if they call me up. What are they? Well, actually, I think you can get arrested for that if you don't go. But I'd be like, fuck you. I have nothing to talk to you about. Like, I'm not, because it's not going to be us talking about anything. It's going to be them asking the questions and me sitting there on trial, basically, but not real trial, because you don't get the same like actual like you're not doing it in the court of law. It's not treated
like a court. Yeah.
No, yeah, so it's fucking crazy. Like even the impeachment shit. Like Trump did impeachable things. What they went after him for, I thought was stupid.
Yeah, they took the most monkey angle of all time.
And they're just like, okay, well, these are definitely going to work. And then, like, me and Chili used to sit down, like, every day. Like, this is at the point where Chili was like, fucking, I'm not going to class. And, like, fucking, he would just be there, like, every day, and I'd come back, and he was watching the debates. Not the debates, the impeachment trials. And we would sit there for, like, hours, just step right outside of the window and smoke a joint, and, like, step right back inside while it's still playing. And, like, we'd fucking just sit there and watch the entire thing. And it was just like, man, Trump really made himself look fucking guilty. And that was one that me and Jimbo butted heads on. And we still do, because he's literally just in denial. And I know for a fact that he didn't watch it.
Yeah, Jimbo copes so hard about shit he's never watched.
Dude, like, literally fucking in the Bible. You remember we were talking about fucking, I forgot what it was specifically. Fucking King Saul had, like, or King David had fucking sent this dude to a war.
King David?
My son, we'd all be dead if it wasn't for my son David. But fucking King David, like, sent his best friend away to die, like, in a war.
Yeah.
And then Jimbo was like, no. He was actually doing it because his friend died in war, and, like, he didn't want her to be alone. And I was like, no, that literally wasn't it. It was a story about God being like, oh, well, yeah, he did a fucked up thing, but it's a redeemable thing. And, like, Jimbo's just, like, sitting there coping about something he has no idea about. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're the smartest motherfucker I've ever met, but you are so stupid. Like, fucking, the Bible thing, like, it pisses me off because, like, Jimbo legitimately doesn't read the Bible. And it's like, I know more about it than you do, and that's the religion you claim. So, like, you can't sit here and talk about it as, like, super high up. And, like, then he'll just revert to, I don't know. Like, I'll just have to ask my pastor. It's like, you can't make up your own decision and, like, logic of why you believe something, and you're really going to laugh at Democrats for doing the same shit. It's like,
true.
Man, you're so blind to the fact that you're literally the same thing as them. Like, how he's like, just vote Republican. Like, literally fucking, we have a stupid friend, Jade, that, she was like, oh, I want to vote out, everyone go vote out DeSantis. And she had, like, the most stupid reasons of why she didn't like him.
Because she didn't have a reason.
Exactly. Well, she ended up bringing out some reasons, and then they were just, like, dumb. Like the Martha's Vineyard shit. And it's like, okay, this nigga says, I want to make it harder for them to get over here. Government's like, nah, you can't really do that. He's like, okay, well, I want to send them out. I'm like, no, you can't really send them back. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to transport them to somewhere else. And, like, sends them to another state where they're getting more welfare money. And it's like, those are the people that get mad at the southern states for being like, you're so hateful for not wanting illegal immigrants. It's like, okay, well, let's see how you deal with them. Because it's exactly like the slavery thing. Like, the North did fight to get the slaves free.
And then they were like, no.
As soon as black people got up there, the Klan started in Ohio. Like, literally most of the shit that was going, like, the horrible shit that was going, well, there was obviously shit going down in the South as well. Like, whenever you heard a lot of the stories about people getting fucked up, like, it was fucking white people. Well, actually, redlining, not even physically, like, on a personal level, just, like, black people getting actually fucked over. Like,
yeah, economically raped.
Yeah, because, like, all right, well, if you're going to come here, you have to stay in this area of the city. And then, like, they didn't have money, and they're all sitting in there, and then the bank's just like, all right, well, this red line around this entire box here, I'm not helping them out with, like, bank loans or anything. And it's like, the argument can be made, like, yeah, you don't want to lend to people with no money. Like, whenever you put a bunch of poor people in an area, it's like, you can't just tell them they can't get money and, like, literally make it to where, like, you have a rule against it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing where you need the government to actually step in. But, like, people want fucking the government to, like, jump in way more often than you actually need them to.
Yeah, because, like, it's a slippery slope. It's literally a slippery slope.
Like, once you give the government power over something, they're not going to just be like, okay, well, here's it back. It's like, no, nigga, that's there now.
And it's not even just, like, on the government side. It, like, creates a culture of where people are, like, if something is going wrong, they're, like, their response is to ask the government to fix it. And it's
like gun control.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, and they're doing it in a stupid way where they're literally just like, oh, well, this person used a gun to go kill people. And it's like, yeah, but, like, I'm not really concerned about the drill that Jeffrey Dahmer used to kill those people with. Yeah. I'm pretty more concerned about the crazy fuck that did it. So maybe we should look into them and see what it actually is. And then it's like, why are you still talking? ban guns, AR-15s, and like just saying shit that they don't even know about guns. And I don't know shit about guns.
Dude, speaking of this, like we actually almost like got into a little bit of a gun control debate in my African history class. Cause like my professor's hella based, like from like studied in France, actual African guy. And like he asks us a lot about like culture and like the structure of society in America because he's actually curious. So like a lot of times if we have like we finish his lecture shit like 30 minutes early, we'll talk about something like that. And we ended up talking about like gun laws and like the first time that I've honestly been like, you know what, I will give California credit slightly for being on bullshit. There was the like large African American woman that's in my class. She's like a mother to like 3 kids, I think. She's like an older student, but she was saying like she used to live in California, and apparently in California, before you buy a gun, I don't know if it was like for every gun. If it's for every gun, it's kind of retarded, but like before you buy your first gun, you have to actually do like a little class, like safety class, and get a little safety certificate. And then you also have to like make an appointment at a sheriff's department so that they can like check you out and make sure you're not like obviously an insane person.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit like that is honestly like solid. Like, and I respect doing shit like that.
That used to be what I think, like what I would want as a gun control measure. But then it's like that I want it as like a small, like the state to make their own rules on like how to do that. Like, because I can agree that that's like what I want.
Yeah.
So like that should be like the state matter, because once the federal government gets it and like it's one person that controls like what the standard is across the board, they're gonna fuck people over.
Yeah, I know.
And the federal government doesn't work well on an individual level. It's like a big thing
at all.
That's why you have your state governments. It's because like people will be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, like whenever someone runs and like I'm gonna fix the roads. It's like, what? Like in Washington D.C., like that's not you don't call the government, like the federal government, to come fix roads. Like the state government will usually it's the city. They try and handle it on the smallest level that they can, because it's like, okay, yeah, the state government could come in there and use their resources to do it, but could we do this with somebody that is a smaller, more specific branch that's like
just actually like more like closer to the problem and knows more about it?
Because like, okay, let's say there's a fucking giant pothole on Kingsland on Gross Road. Send that up to Atlanta and they're gonna be like, send a crew, like let's say they're trying to fix it, like send a construction crew to Gross Road, and like there's apparently a giant pothole there, and it's just gonna be super ineffective. Like eventually they're gonna find it, but they're gonna realize it's like the biggest road in fucking Camden, and they're gonna be like, well, I gotta go find it. But if it's city level, it's it's on Gross Road right by whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
like,
and we already know about it because we drive by it on the way to work.
Exactly, and you already know about it, so you're like, this is my thing. Like this is where we can handle it on our smallest level. And that's like how our government is supposed to function. But like people are just like, oh, well, I see the federal people the most, so like surely they mean the most to my life.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, not really.
It's not how it should be, but it is going that way.
Yeah. People just don't really understand how government works. And they don't really understand how like they don't understand like how dangerous it is just to get that divide, like that feeling of like being against each other. And that's why I think Trump getting presidency is like literally the worst thing that can happen for this country.
Because that's like, we're really to a point in bipartisan politics to where like we no longer vote based on like the merit of someone's ideas. So that's like awful.
They literally call people like, he's a Trump Republican. And it's like, what? Or it's like MAGA candidate this, and it's like
there's no spectrum.
It's like I don't even know who this nigga is. I caught myself doing it the other day about Beto O'Rourke because he's running against Greg Abbott in Texas for governor. He lost, but like fucking someone Lila had sent me a video that was like ended up being funny about it, and like I thought she was just trying to like blue pill me about it, and like so I didn't even see. I watched like 10 seconds into the video and got mad at it and stopped. And just was like Beto is a faggot. And like, didn't even watch the video to see like 10, if I would have waited 5 seconds later and not been such a fucking one-minded moron. Like it was some dude that's like, like 2 awkward guys. They're like, and we're gay Republicans and like we make love to each other. Like, and it was just like funny. And it was like they're like first time Democrat voter. And like, I was like, I got so worked up about like something before I don't even know that much about Beto O'Rourke. I just know he's a Democrat, and I got that. I already start off with a negative opinion. I have no idea what he wants, and like that's me being a moron too. And like I see it. This is like the reason I call people out for it is because like I see it in myself, and like yeah, I should worry about myself, but like other people don't even look into themselves like that, and it's like holy fuck. That's how you end up like a Jimbo, and like yeah, you might know a lot, but you're like a retard because you're just so stuck in your own ways.
Yeah, but he's really not like that with like most shit though. Like he's definitely you're able to reason with him, but like off rip sometimes his takes are pretty fried.
Yeah, whenever it's like
a lot of the times when he's had like a fried take, we actually talk to him about it, and then he's like, yeah, like
sometimes we've got him on that like a couple of times.
Obviously, the religion shit is never gonna change.
Yeah.
That's like something that like you just gotta respect it, I guess.
The progress he's made, though, I have to say, like whenever he admitted that, like
God could have caused evolution,
I was like, finally,
I've been trying to like get him to understand that perspective for like years, and he finally like.
I remember it was just because Jay wasn't in there like screaming, calling him an idiot, and like it was just me and you, like just like no, but Jimbo, God has unlimited power in your mind, right? Because like we're talking to, we obviously aren't Christians, but like we're talking to him from like. We know he is one, so it's like, all right, we can fucking.
We want to understand it from a Christian's like.
So we're coming at him with the Christian points. Like God has all unlimited power. Why couldn't he have made evolution happen?
Then why wouldn't he have made shit go over time if he wants to watch it? Like it's his creation. Why did he do it all at once?
It was like, oh, it's done, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's all right. But the cool thing is like whenever you see it's not the end, it's the journey.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, maybe he could have done that. Maybe the Big Bang Theory is whenever fucking he said, let there be light. Like, I've heard that. People try and connect those as well. I don't believe that. You know what's weird? It's like, I don't really know if I believe in a God. I don't really believe. I just don't. Like, I know for a fact that every religion on this planet is wrong. Like, I know for a fact. It's like, no way fucking God came here and, like, the rules you set, like that any of you guys have set, like the moral rules. I'd say the Christian ones seem the most in line with me because it's just like kind of the European rules. But even they,
I'd say probably like Muslim ones most aligned with me.
Yeah, of course. But fucking most religions is just like some goofy shit where it's obvious that they're doing it for more money or like more population, so they have more power. And it's like I don't believe that any of you have the true story. Like, why
religious institutions have ruined the entire concept?
What do you mean?
Just like the implementation of religion and like the church.
Dude,
I mean, like it all started with someone like having just like faith in something and some sort of belief, and then like the institutions that followed it had inherent politics, just like all human like social bodies or like constructs or whatever, and like they just mutated it so much over time to be awful shit like that. I mean, like, think about, like, the Catholic Church and, like, the Spanish Inquisition and shit.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny because, like, my mind instantly went to kid fucking, but, like, the Catholic Church did way worse shit than that. Mm-hmm. Like, they were kind of the reason the natives were getting fucked by the Spanish. Because they're like, we want to convert them. And they were like, no. And they're like, these guys are savages, kill them.
They're like, all right, if you don't want to play by God's rules, we'll just smite thee.
Exactly. Dude, that's that Old Testament shit where it was like, yeah, and then like there's a city and like there's gay people there and like, yeah.
And then it got on fire.
God, no, wiped it off the face of the planet. And then he is like, yeah, don't even look back. And then like this dude's wife looks back and literally turns into a pillar of salt. And it's like, Old Testament God was funny. Like
he's metal as fuck.
People don't. That's why it makes me mad that people call themselves Christians without reading the Bible. Because it's like, if you read the Old Testament,
horrifying.
You'd be like, whoa. Like if that's the God that it is, like that's kind of fucking scary. And it's like, yeah, he put it in process and like said, you got free will. But then like halfway through, he's like, nah, definitely not. And then just like fucking, you can't be gay. Wipes the city off the planet. And it's like, you know my opinion on gay people. I think that they're fucking mentally deficient. Or like maybe mentally, I don't know what the word would be, but like literally, we talked about this the other day, like the DSM-5, which is like the list of all like the different psychological like issues you could have. Being gay used to be on there, and like the only reason it got taken off was just like because they're like
because it hurts people's feelings.
Yeah, and it's like, no, hear me out. Like, human beings are meant to reproduce. Not everyone's going to do it, so you can't say, oh, well, someone's not a human because they're not reproducing. But by the nature of a human, like, what we want to do is reproducing. That's why we evolved the way we do, is to reproduce as successfully as possible. Like, it's not you want to do this. The human wants to do that. So, there's a way that you can do that with male and female parts. Your brain, unless you choose to be this way, then that would like take a mental deficiency away because you're choosing to do that. But I think that it's something you're born with, because I didn't really choose to be straight. So like, I don't really think anyone chooses to be gay, but fucking your brain is wired for you to like get pleasure out of a way that you don't reproduce. Like whenever you're having sex, like that's the main goal of sex. Like,
it's going to prevent you from reproducing.
Exactly.
And like the way that they base the diagnostics for like, at least, like, I know it's the wrong word because I've been fucking not going to this class, but, like a physiological disorder, I guess, has to, like, actually, like, impede you from, like, performing the normal actions, the normal, like, functions of a human being, I guess. And, like, it's voted on by, like, a council, which is also kind of why, like, that shit's kind of retarded. But yeah, I'm brain dead and lost my train of thought.
No, I mean, like, I was just I hate gay people thing. No, you know, I have found that I don't like being around gay people that much, just because the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. That's definitely not it. Well, like, fucking, I'll see a gay person and I'll be like, like, I'm like how like a racist white person is. Like, I wouldn't say it's homophobic because I'm not scared of gay people. I'm just like, ugh. Like, dude, like fucking exactly. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I feel myself doing, like, I'm definitely sexist and I'm definitely fucking hate gay or whatever the word is for that. And it's like not cool. Like, I wish I wasn't like that. Like, cause it'd be way better if I could just take every person for who they are and like give it like a shot. But like now it just seems like the majority of the people I meet that are gay, like, clearly just make it their personality. And it's like, all right, I'm not throwing it in your face that I'm straight. I would really appreciate it if you didn't make that your entire thing about you being gay.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, just act like a person.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no way that like you, like, just because you want to have sex.
I feel like we got away from that. I feel like that's how it was for like all of human history. I mean, people have to have been.
People have been gay the entire human history.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of like, there's a renaissance in history to study gay history right now, as you could probably expect. But yeah, there's a lot of.
I would be interested in actually.
I mean, there was like a lot of like official and like culturally normalized like homosexuality too throughout history. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've told you about the fucking. I think it was the Edo period of Japan when they had like
fuck little boys.
Yeah, basically it was like there's a third gender of just like any boys from like 12 to like, honestly there's like old ones too. They just had to have that like boyish charm, and like they would fuck hella bitches, but they would like wear girls' clothes sometimes, and like they would have like a like elderly male mentor that was like, they were like loyal to them, like that was the only guy they fucked, and they would just like get pounded in the ass literally like once a year.
Oh my god, dude.
Like only like it wasn't
one
like
time a year. I feel like one time in my life would fucking like leave me scarred. Like I'd just be sitting there like a vegetable, like shaking. But fucking once a year, that would be so scary. Can like you call it in any time of the year? Was
sure.
it like a day?
It wasn't like it was limited to once a year. Like some definitely did it more, I'm sure, but it was like meant to be like a sort of like purely like mentor dominance thing that wasn't like all the time. It was definitely like an occasion.
It's like, I need to teach you a lesson.
Yeah, it was like, I make you a man by coming in your asshole.
Oh my god, that's gonna toughen them up.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. Japanese people are wild. But fucking Turkey actually like legalized being gay like a long time ago.
That's why they got that homo ass mud wrestling.
Yeah, the oil wrestling. That's literally their number one sport over there. But fucking like this one dude, I think his name was like Hassan Abbey, was talking about like.
Oh, I hate him.
I do too, but he was on Flagrant 2, and I was
Hassan Piker.
I didn't know who he was before, and then I like watched it, and I was like, this guy's kind of funny.
Champagne socialist.
He's kind of an idiot. But like I was like, I'm not listening to him for his political takes. He's kind of funny, and like he was talking about Turkey, and he was like, yeah, like they legalized being gay, like, and they weren't even like mad at gay people
he's
before
Turkish.
that. Yeah, like I think he's like literally born in Turkey, not just like a Turkish descendant. But like I was like, that's pretty interesting.
You won't fight Sam Hyde though. What a beta.
What, Sam Hyde wanted to fight him?
Yeah.
I didn't even know, like, that socialism thing, I used to think it was cool when I was like fucking 16, but then like the more you actually look into it, it doesn't really work. Like people, if you give people like stuff that they could work for, that they are able to get themselves, they're not going to put the effort in to get that for themselves anymore.
Yeah, I mean, my mom was in a fucking German hospital, and I got to see socialized medicine firsthand as a kid, and I was like, holy shit, like, the fucking doctor's really, like, smoking a cigarette out in the hallway.
What?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Her teeth were, like, falling out of her fucking skull. My mom had a hernia in her abs, and they like did an ultrasound, and they were like, you have a cyst on your uterus, and then like opened her up to look for the cyst, and they were like, yeah, actually there wasn't anything, we looked at it wrong, and it was a hernia.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
like, I
fucking
had no idea what was
horrifying.
going on. But
That's why competition's like really the best thing. Like competition to an extent, because like you need to have doctors being able to make more money. Like if a doctor is the best, like he should make the most money, right? Like I don't know if that's like wrong of me to think that, but like if the guy put in the most work and like worked the hardest and is the most effective, like yeah, this is the number one guy in the world. Like I will pay the money to get that if I have the money. And like obviously it sucks for people that don't have money, but like if you have competition, then even the worst doctors are gonna have to still be pretty good.
yeah,
And like I think that there's like some positions that just need to make money. Like teachers are actually one. And I think that teachers, it's a weird thing because we need to raise the standard on them and we need to raise their pay. But it's like, what's the order of that? Because like if you raise the standard on them, then
they're all gonna quit.
they're all gonna they're not gonna quit. They're gonna get fired because they're not gonna meet the standard. And then if you fucking raise the pay first, you're overpaying a bunch of people that are way underqualified. And it's like, okay, maybe that's how you do it, but like it makes me very nervous to think about like how
They're gonna get them to actually fucking
like how long it would take for because there would have to be like either they go get the qualification or someone else comes and takes their job. In my mind, it's like someone else is gonna come and replace them out because they want that pay and like they're way more qualified. And then eventually we just have good teachers, but that's a hope. And it's like, all right, well, how long am I willing to wait? Like, what's the time frame on that?
yeah.
I don't know. I think about shit like that all the time, and then I'm just like, why am I even considering this? Like, I am never going to be in any position to like actually do anything.
Modern society's really created so many complex problems that we could really probably never ever solve.
Yeah,
Like it's crazy.
dude. What do you think about like having bases all across the world?
What, like how the U.S. does?
Yeah,
I think it's based.
dude. I don't know. Like, I really wish we just went back to undisturbed isolationism.
I agree.
I like the idea of
except
the
for in-
bases.
Like honestly, like I'm not mad at the fact that we have shit in like Japan, but like we should take all of our shit out of Europe because those dudes take us hella for granted. Where we like they would get smoked on their own if like Russia actually invaded and tried to take Western Europe. Like it would be GG's for if they had no support from us.
I don't even know about that, dude. Russia is like
Except for Poland, though. No, Poland would probably bust their cheeks.
Russia is like really.
They're weak as fuck.
Yeah, like the only threat they serve is like as a nuclear one. Like conventional warfare, we don't know what the Chinese are doing. Maybe they have something. We can
France and
assume they
Germany
probably
are
don't.
fools.
France and Germany are retards. Germany let a woman run them. Absurd. Dude, I would never want a woman president. I don't know what it is about it, but if I want one person in charge, I definitely don't want it to be someone that bleeds once a fucking month. and like has hormonal challenge, like because they literally have like hormonal.
That means you would have liked Hillary though, because she was barren and she had no like feminine hormones in her fucking body.
Yeah, it was because she. I don't know. Maybe
system was like shriveled.
all the adrenochrome might have fucking brought it back.
You think so?
Yeah,
You think
dude.
that shit was moist? You think that shit was putting off heat?
I mean, I would definitely fuck Hillary, like just for the story,
Yeah, I mean, I'd fuck Bill for the story.
dude. Fucking imagine being on Fuck Island and Hillary and Bill pull up and you're like, oh, I wonder which one I get. Roll the dice. It's you and your brother. Your brother gets his fucking face ate off by that bitch Hillary, and then you get fucked. Like, where's my brother? She's the only one that like I didn't like. Whenever I heard all those stories that were like QAnon, like, oh yeah, there's like politicians eating people's faces off. They're like Hillary. I was like, I know it sounds far fetched, but like if there's any of them that are doing it, it's definitely her.
Yeah, for sure. She's soulless. But Bill would take me into the room and I'd think I'm about to get violated, and he'd bend over and he'd be like, I want you to fuck me in the ass.
And Bill is a freak. Dude, he went over there 27 times.
Partying with Bill would probably be fire, other than the part when he's having sex with kids.
Dude, if you were, but he's also like pussy. So like fucking, if Bill was like, if you were hanging out with Bill Clinton, you're probably also getting some residual pussy. Like
He was like, you want to play it legal tonight?
yeah, dude. And you're just like, what does that mean? He's like, yeah, we'll do that. I knew you black guys are pretty cool. You don't really roll that way.
Oh my God.
Imagine the pussy you get. Fucking Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky was kind of a hog.
Pussy.
The pussy. We can go ahead and call it.
On phone M.